Hi, I'm Rebecca Guevara, and I'm the instructor for your class this summer. The videos you'll notice are not me doing the videos, but I'm just using that same material this semester. So I'm going to do this from student view. So your class will look like this. Any announcements should come up here. Hopefully you'll see them. On the side, there is a to-do list, but I always like to tell people, be careful with the to-do list because if you have too many things due at one time, sometimes they will not show up on there. Also, if you click on some of the things on here, like if you click on the actual homework and you go into it, if you try to click onto it from the to-do list again, it will not let you in, and you will have to directly go through the module and then find that assignment and open it. That being said, probably the best way to know what's due is just look at the assignment, look at the due dates. So I arranged this by weeks. So we have what we're doing that week, and for the most part, it's just your homework. But when you have anything like an exam, it will pop up in the week that exam will be available. And anything like our research papers, those will be available in here when they are due. So if we go from the very top, from student resources, this video will be in there. There will also be a class overview. Let me open that. So sometimes this icon breaks, but if you open it, this will take you to the, it's not necessarily a book, it's like an online emporium, but it takes you to all the things that we are looking at in this class. So if you're talking about financial literacy, then you can find those subjects in here. Or if you were wanting to talk about, I'm trying to find it here, measurements, anything like that, you should be able to find that information in here. So that was linked in there for you. There's also the schedule. You can find this in the syllabus as well. I've just put it here. But your syllabus, this is just the first Monday of every week, so you know what week we're on. This is just the subjects we're going to be covering, just as a reminder. July 1st, technically I have no classes, so I don't have anything you're working on. There may be something due that week, but I don't assign any extra work that week. But that's essentially your summer break for the 4th of July. And then also this last week here was not really a full week. Really what it is your exam week. And last I saw, your exams were from the 7th to the 8th. I will double check that because that didn't seem right to me, but that is what I saw. I'm trying to go back into here. Calculators, I've linked a Desmos Scientific Calculator if you would like to use that one. So it looks like this, just your normal calculator. You could type from your keyboard, you can hit from here. Any functions you might need would be in here. So these are some functions you might need later, but you can find those in there. And then notes. I apologize, I didn't have a lot of time to set this up. So I'm actually using another instructor's notes. But these are the notes that go with each unit that we're covering. So problem solving, this is the first set. These are your first set of notes. Okay, so a lot of this is the same stuff in your syllabus, class learning objectives. This is just the stuff that we're going to be covering. Essentially, you know, some basic math literacy, logic, sets, problem solving and finance math. There's going to be a little bit about probability and counting techniques and a little bit about statistics. So we cover a little bit of several topics. Oops, sorry about that. Don't know what that came up to be. This needs to be removed. But your expectations, expected to work on your classwork weekly. That's how I really tell that you're still active in the classes, going through and seeing weekly if you're actually participating. If you are, then you get attendance for that week. Each homework assignment will include video lessons and problems. You will also write a small paper on math topics of your choosing. So I will give you a little bit more information on that later on, but essentially you have two topics. One is about, and not necessarily a mathematician, but somebody who has contributed to the math field, because you have like Fermat, who is kind of a mathematician, but professionally was a lawyer. But like I said, you don't have to just make sure that their only career is mathematician. Somebody who did something in the field of mathematics, attributed to it some way. You're just writing about how they attributed to it. So it's not so much a biography, but so much more about what they contributed and the effect that it had. And the other one is just seeing something mathematics in a topic you're interested in. So this could be a lot of things, because I've had people do math in online dating. I also had them do numerology. So, there's nothing that's really off the table. It's just seeing how math is used in some sort of field of interest of yours. So they shouldn't be too difficult of write papers there. So that is a typo, but homework, that's 40% of your grade. So those assignments are going to come up with the video and the questions. The research papers, like I said, there's 2 of them, so they're both worth about 10% of your grade, but a combined 20%. You'll have 2 just regular exams. They're not final exams, so they only cover like a little bit of material. So exam 1 is covering weeks 1 through 3, and then 2 is weeks 4 through 8. Both exams are going to be proctored using Respondus, because we're still using that this summer. But like I said, you have those 2 exams, and then it will be a final exam, and that covers all the material from all 10 weeks, more like 9 weeks. This was also proctored with Respondus, and it's worth 15% of your grade. And then you'll probably all know your grading scale. Anything that's not in here, it's in your syllabus, would just really be like policies that we have. I'll get to my information here in a second. So just some policies for you to be aware of. Attendance will be recorded weekly. You must finish or submit an assignment once per week, be recorded as attending. So just try to make sure that you work on something every week, so we can say that you're participating in the class. Excused absences, this is a little weird because it's not face-to-face class, it's online, but like if you have to miss for a whole week, it'd have to be something pretty big that's going on. So like, I don't think this is gonna be a problem in the summer, but like if your coach had to make you go do something for a week in the summer, or you got really, really sick and you're like in the hospital, or there was a death in the family, something major that would keep you out for a week. Those are excused absences. I didn't feel good for 2 days really isn't one. Because you have really a whole week to work on this. And then this is a school policy. If you miss 3 weeks of class, you could be dropped from the course. So I can ask that they drop you. Whether they do or not, it's not up to me, but that is something that can happen. Like I said, you have exam on the 4th and the 9th weeks. We're going to be using Respondus. That's going to take all pictures of the exam, so Respondus should work fairly well for us. If it doesn't, just let me know. Any tests, you can use notes calculators, online calculators, if those have been provided. I think there's only one that really has one. Attempt to finish all your work on time. Extensions may be given if there's like a topic that a lot of you are struggling on. I may add extra time for it, but because this is a quick semester and we're trying to cover this material in essentially 10 weeks, I don't have a lot of time to extend assignments. So you need to kind of stay on top of things. Cheating. So there were some problems with cheating in the past, and I advocated on your side that maybe some of these things you weren't aware of were cheating. But do not cheat. And cheating includes and is not limited to copying the works of others, letting others copy your work, using AI technology on your homework, using programs that do homework for you, etc. So all those things are considered cheating if you're caught doing it. First time is really like you're given a warning. You do it again, then we have to like report you to our VIP, well, probably like my department head or the VIP of instruction, but you get reported and they can make the choice to, if you're caught, like I said, several times, they may give you the choice of kicking you out. I really have the choice of, do I give you credit for the work or say you don't? They could kick you out though if it continues being a problem. August 8th is the last day of this semester. Can't accept anything after that because I need to have grades in as soon as possible. Okay. And then, so if you do have any needs, or you have any kind of, like I said, disabilities that are hindering your ability to go work through this class, then you would need to actually contact Gabe Lewis about that. So I guess he's still working as our counselor for that. You could also talk to HSI, or you could probably talk to Trio. A lot of the NER student support services, if you have something you're worried about, if you talk to them, they'll guide you where you need to go. Okay. And then the one last thing, so this is a little bit about me. I am not actually in the Stephenville, Brownwood, or Ranger area. I'm a little further away. But it tends to be in the summer. We do not hold face-to-face office hours, and I don't have an office to hold them in, is really what the issue is. So we don't have any necessarily designated tutoring hours or office hours. So if you do need to meet with me, you do need to send me an email, and then I can schedule a time over Zoom that we meet. So I do give you my cell phone number, because I know a lot of times you guys have a quick question. This is just for you to text me, because I'll tell you, if you call me, I will not answer, because I always assume you're a telemarketer. Or I keep getting calls from somebody over in that area who had my phone number like 6 years ago. I still getting calls for them as well. So I tend not to answer my phone if I don't know who the call is coming from. And then also you have my email if you need to email me. You can also send messages through here. Okay, so like I said, so you do have, like, your textbook is linked here again, textbook video library, so they have their own videos as well, graphing calculators. Like I said, a lot of that I just put in the class overview, but some of it's here as well. But our general setup is most of this is just going to be homework that's going to be through Lumen. So, well, now I have to figure out why I said that, because earlier I just clicked it and it was working. Let's try this one. Okay, just a minute, I figure out what happened. Okay, just so you know this, occasionally it resets things on me, like it just did this right now. Because it always does it when I make these videos. If that happens and things are not opening, just let me know because everything uh should be able to open it. But anyways, when you click on an assignment, so one of these homeworks, just any one of them, when you click on it, you will see this term of service. So we agree, and then gets you into the homework system. All right. Oh God, it reset all my fucking due dates. So after you sign that agreement, or not sign the agreement, but agree to use the homework system, um, you could resume if you're already started on one, but I'm gonna go into, oops, I won't be in teacher preview. But just to show you, it's not gonna look the same because for me, it's actually closed because your stuff doesn't open yet. So yours is not gonna look exactly like this. But what you're gonna see is a video. After you watch the video, you click just to say that you did. And then you have the questions here. So one of the things that will happen here is that after you answer a question a couple times, this will come up and you have another attempt at the assignment. If you do get stuck, you can always hit submit instructor and there you go. We'll get it wrong. You can hit submit. Okay. It just doesn't want to, there you go, best instructor. Once you go there, my name is still as Plowman in here because that was my maiden name and it won't change in the system. But you could go in there and send me the question. So if you do get stuck in the homework, you can always send me those questions. But up here, it should tell you like how many tries you have, how many attempts, things like that. You also will have what's called a late pass. So if you do not get an assignment finished in time, you will see something come up that says it's got a late pass. And what you could do then is click that late pass and it'll take 5% off your grade and then you can still try to complete the assignment. So if you do get behind, you're just going to lose a little bit on your grade if you have to go back and try to attempt something after the due date. Okay, and then your exams. Does it kind of show you they're going to be Canvas exams, so they're locked. So they're going to end up going through Canvas and not through Lumen. So these are going to be a little bit different. Apologize. I have to show everything from teacher view because student view is not working. But your research paper, just to let you know, kind of idea what it looks like. We will be either using MLA or APA format, and I put these links in here. So these link you to what our school has listed for that. Also, if you go to the library and talk to them, they could also help you with MLA or APA styles. So both of those, I believe, I had to double check it because it's been a while since I used APA. But you should be using double space, so align space, align, New Times Roman font in 12 point. So that's what you should be writing for papers. Your paper should be somewhere to 3 to 5 pages in length. So that's important because when I'll let you know if you have never had to write a paper in college before, it's generally frowned upon to write outside of that range. So writing less than that, definitely we're not happy with. But if you write more than 5 pages, like if it's a paragraph over, it's not a big deal. But if you're like getting like 6, 7 pages and it keeps growing, that's too much because part of writing a paper is be able to cut down and put in there what is important. So please stay between 3 to 5 pages. I've had a lot of people get too excited and write way too many. Your title, citation page, any pictures you include, if you put like a gigantic formula in there, anything like that, that does not count towards your page count. The page count is going to be the words and the all that. I'll also be using Turnitin. So Turnitin will look for plagiarism and AI generated content. So we are not supposed to be using AI generated content. You have to write the paper yourselves. It says it's AI generated. You'll be asked to rewrite the paper again. The paper must be under 20% to be accepted. So when you put it in, it says, and I'm being generous there because that's usually at the top end of what's allowed. But the plagiarism has to stay under 20%. If it exceeds, then you'll be asked to rewrite your paper. I will not accept it if it's over that. So just let you know about that. And then I did put my rubric in here. So part of it's on formatting, part of it's being able to do your citations correctly, and part of it is you organize the content correctly or put the correct content in, and then you organize it in a way that makes sense. Not sure what happened here. Those parts disappeared on that thing. But like I said, so this first one is just on a mathematician and their contribution to science. This would be the first paper you're writing. None of your papers are biographies, so you should not have more than 1 page of biographical information for anybody, because like I said, it's not a biography. It is about their contribution to math. And when it has to do with how math is influenced, it's used in a certain field, you really shouldn't have any biographical information in that because you're just really focusing on the math. Equations. So if you have equations, like tons and tons of equations, you're fine. You have no idea what they mean. Don't put those in your paper. That's one thing I always want to tell people. If there's like an important formula, like if you're talking about Einstein, E equals mc squared, well, it's an important formula. You may want to include that. You don't want to include like 5 formulas that you know nothing about. You just want sort of like the basics of the topic that you're looking at, what they did, and you do not want to use a whole bunch of information you don't understand, because partly what I'm looking for is that you understand some of what you're telling me. And this will not show up for you currently. I'm going to probably, this is going to be taken down for a little bit, but your very last week, that needs to be fixed because that's the old schedule, but this one's going to be taken off. You will have a final exam module that will come up for your final exam, and it will include a review for your final, and your final exam will be in there. Like I said, those are just not actually included right now because we haven't got to the final exam. I kind of like to see how you guys are doing before I put that final exam in there. Okay. So once again, trying to stop sharing. If you do have any questions for me, like I said, you have that contact information in there. So you can always text me or you can email me to let you know. There are roughly 2 weeks in the semester. It might be hard to get a hold of. One of them is going to be this second week into the semester. I'm taking a little trip and I should be back by the third week into the semester. So at the end of May, beginning of June, I'm gone for a little bit. And then I have a bunch of training I'm doing at the very end of the semester during your finals week. So like I said, if you have any problems in there, I might not be getting a hold of you until like way later in the afternoon or something like that, because I'm going to be really busy those 2 weeks. But I hope you enjoy the class. Contemporary math is usually one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoyed as well.